Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Theresa, and I thought it would be fun to start a video and see if some folks were around that wanted to craft with me. What you will need for this is some printer paper or some kind of white paper that you can tape together with something like masking tape, and some paints, because we're going to do paint on paper. So let's get started. We're going to get right down to business. I'm going to take these two papers and I'm going to tape them together, and along the way I'm going to talk about my thoughts on what can be done with this. So I'm thinking accordion, and I'm thinking what I want to say, insert, like a folio insert for a journal is what I'm thinking. That is something like, you know, I can't talk and craft. Something like an accordion. $592 subscribers. That means 8 more till I get to 600. About 2 weeks ago or so, I posted in my posts that I only needed, I think at the time it was maybe 3 more subscribers to get to 600, and I gradually watched that number increase from that moment on until this point where it's 8 more subscribers before I get to 600. I just like round numbers. But I was watching it back then because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to come up with an idea to celebrate 600 subscribers. And boom, I ended up getting further and further away from that. I like using this masking tape because it's easy to stamp on. So now we've got the middle. I've never done this before. I just thought about doing it today. Okay, and then we're going to fold in half again. And let's see if we can straighten that up a little bit. This is a bone folder that I got from Stampin' Up! When I was a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. It occurred to me the other day that being a card maker with Stampin' Up! Products, sorry, I have a frog in my throat. Anyways, being a card maker as a result of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator using Stampin' Up! Products, I believe was a good segue into junk journaling, because I did a lot of layering. I have some very, oh no, I moved them, never mind. I did have some cards on my desk, but I moved them. Anyways, I was going to look real quick and see if I could see any examples of the ones that I did a lot of layering with, because I did really like to do cards that had a lot of layering. So now that I have that fold, I can easily fold it this way so that we have an accordion fold. But this is not about necessarily having an accordion element, because my vision is that the only problem with having masking tape on both sides causes it to bulk up right there. So if I were to do this in the future, I don't think that I would use quite so much masking tape. I definitely go lighter on the masking tape to see if that cooperated better. So I started to say, my vision for this is for this to be a folio. So it would be sewn into the journal, and then on this top side of the folio, it would have a flip. On both sides of the folio, it would have a flip. So now we're going to straighten all of this out, and I hope you've got paper in front of you, and I hope you're crafting with me. Alrighty, not gonna need that. I'm going to start with some paint. Oh, I guess what I will start with actually is I'll show you my organizational center for my paints. It's kind of heavy, so I'm already thinking this isn't going to work for me, which I really like it though. But if I could put this in drawers and be able to pull out one drawer at a time, that would be less heavy. And I'm starting to have problems with frozen shoulder. I don't know if it's frozen shoulder, but that's kind of what it feels like, because my range of motion is stiffening up, and then there's the pain in the areas of the arm where I had pain from frozen shoulder at another time in my life. So I'm very conscientious about how heavy things are. And trust me, this is heavy, but it's really cool because it has so many spots in it, and I could open up these spots if I wanted to. However, when I put this away, the stuff kind of falls all over the place, or it can fall all over the place. Right here is a good portion of my paintbrushes. And what's nice about this is if I were to go to a retreat, this is so easy to carry. I mean, I wouldn't carry a bunch of stuff like this at one time, but I know that all my paint stuff is in this, most of it. The big portion of my paint stuff is here. I think I have some more paintbrushes somewhere else, but other than that, I think all my paint stuff, except for this tube here, which I don't have a lid for anymore, is right here until I decide to put it in a Ziploc. Ooh. That reminded me. I was like, I haven't wanted to use a Ziploc bag because the smallest Ziploc bag I have is like a sandwich bag size, and that's too big. But I just remembered that I have some Ziploc bags here. Would that fit? You know, one of these is going to fit. still, Theresa. Almost. Okay, need something a little bit bigger. I think these are all the same size. That one's a little bigger. That will work. So now I can put this away and it will keep this paint fresh. Wasn't sure if I was going to have to, what's the word I want? Sacrifice this tube of paint because the lid cracked and so it wouldn't go on the paint anymore. Alright, cool. It's good to save these things. They come in handy. Now, what colors do I want? So in this area here, I have acrylic inks. And I have 6 acrylic inks. There's room for about 3 more. In this area here, I have my date. Is it Dana or Dina? Dana Wakely acrylic paint, and I have medieval and mineral. I think I have some more. Yes, I have mustard, and then I have some black cheap apple barrel and some buttercream. What else? Oh, and I have Payne gray. And then I have some gloss spray. Here's some more gloss spray, turquoise. I am going to want both these gloss sprays, I know that. And sage. I gotta think. What do I want? I want this, and it is light coral Master's Touch paint. I want those two. I want the Payne gray. No, not black. Payne gray. And I want thought medieval would be like a gray color. Huh. I want buttercream and maybe blue. Okay, that's what I'm going to start with. I'm going to use my Dina Wakely Media Brush 1.75. And I need some water. I didn't get any water. There's my water container. And just so I don't have to go very far, I'm going to grab a water bottle. on one panel at a time. I'm going to put some paint down first. I have this other brush here too. I want to just see if it has anything on it. Now I said in yesterday's, this brush is starting to, oh, what's the word I want? Stuff is coming off of it. Which I don't know that I necessarily mind because I love grunge. So there's that. I'm going to take this and I have another. Another one of these. Put that underneath there. Let's get this big paint thing off my desk. It's taking up too much space. Alright, I think I'll do it like this. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. I have big sneezes. I'm going to start with a roller. That's not the word for this. Okay. Words aren't coming to me. We're just going to put paint to paper. No certain rhyme or reason, just experiment that way, that way, that way, that way, and resulting in having some fun. That's all it is. Hey Tony, how are you? Okay, next I'm gonna do this. And this is glossy acrylic spray. And the color is, again, a low. No, not again. I didn't say it the first time. Haven't seen you for a while, Tony. Oh, I was just going to say, I hope you're doing good. So, but Tony just told me she is doing good. So that's good to hear. And let's put a little of this spray down. And this is turquoise. My hubby's home. Hi, hubby. doing a video. Getting quite wet, so I'm going to dab it. And I've got an idea that I'm going to put a layer of paint down, and then I'm going to try some resist spray, some distressed resist spray, and put another layer down and see what happens. I really enjoy using paper towels to put texture on the paper. Texture into mixed media, I guess I should say. Problem finding my stencils. I don't think that's working. Oh, that did. Okay, let's try this. There we go. That's what I needed. That's what I wanted. Yes. Okay. Now. That's kind of cool. see what it's doing? It doesn't totally take the dots off of there. It's just kind of cool how it, I don't know, it kind of pushes them into the background more. Alright, I'm going to leave those two alone and move on to the next two. Because this is so long, it's a little challenge to work with. I think that I am just going to go ahead and put this page over that page and see what we get afterwards. See what it brings up. I'm going to grab another color. I think I'll go with that. And this is yellow ochery, and this is gouache paint. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. I have some dots on here. That's cool. I don't know if they'll stay, but it looks cool now. I already had lunch. Some sprays. Whoa. Whoa. That went all over my keyboard and everything. I don't know what happened. That is weird. It's really messed up. I hate that when I spend so much money for this sort of thing, and then it just, the packaging, the containers that they put them in are usually, not usually, I shouldn't say usually, but can often be crap. And that is so disturbing and frustrating. Makes a big mess all over the place, all over my stuff. Oh my gosh. Went all over my iPad, all over my mouse. Look at my mouse. Annoying, annoying, annoying. Just all over everything. I'm glad I didn't buy a lot of these. At this moment, I don't don't think they're worth it. Yeah, mini Christmas. Everything has sage on it. And we all know I don't like to be this messy. That's way too much. Okay, now let's use a little paint gray. Let's use a stencil. I'm glad I'm not the only one who has problems with that, but kind of not glad because I wouldn't want you to have to go through that frustration too, Tony. Very frustrating. But it is fun just to play, you guys. Just grab your stuff and be a mad scientist and go for it. Okay, there's another 2 pages. So that started to stick together, so I have to be mindful of that. Okay, so now we've got this side and let's see. Can we do this? Okay, now, what I've just decided is if I were to ever do this again, it would be better to paint the papers before I hinge them together. I thought it would be easier because I'd have just one long place, but then after I saw how much it took up of my desk, I really don't have the room for it to take up one long place like that. So now I think I'm just going to take all the paints I have right here and my water bottle, wherever it is. And I'm going to put some water on here. Hi Carrie, welcome. And, oh, that is muddy. Very muddy. I don't know about that, but I would say I'm going to trust the process, but considering I don't have a process, I can't say that I'm going to trust the process. Okay, that's a muddy mess. Let's see what I can do with it. Let's go with some blue. There's a couple more things I want to do. Should have put a smock on. I'm gonna get paint all over me. Okay, one thing I want to do is I want to let some of these layers dry, and I want to try where'd I put it? The resist spray, and I also want to try the acrylic ink on here. So I think I'll spray just a little bit of this. See, that's not spraying right either. Ugh. That's pretty. I like what that did. Okay, we'll leave that alone for now. So we have this left. This one, I'm going to start with, let's get rid of these. This one. Just being a mad scientist, applying paint to papers, all I'm doing here. Has anybody got a live video that you're going to do today? About that. Now let's see if I can get this thing to make me mad again. You're doing a live stream on Wednesday, Tony. Okay, good to know. Now, I have purposely not touched the masking tape very much while I've been doing this because I want to stamp really intense on the masking tape. Okay. Yep, mess. Let's dry this a little bit. Oh my gosh, I just realized that I do not have any lights on in my craft room. There, now I can see. Okay, is that kind of dry? I'll give it a couple more minutes. Just try and dry some more of this stuff. Paper on this is getting a bit wavy and there's a bent place right there and that sort of thing, but I don't worry about that because that's part of what I love about being grungy. So when this folds, that will go there and that will go there. And this will get sewn into the signature, and that would be a really cool painty paper insert, and it's going to be more cool here in a minute. Right, we don't need these, at least not for the minute we don't. Where do you go? Here. What's your live stream gonna be on, Tony? So messy. Well, that's not coming off. Okay. I promise I'll quit cleaning here in just a minute. Alright, I will try and bear with that. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be so busy cleaning after this video. Okay, so we're going to take this spot right here, and we're going to take a stencil. Center that for this page. I want to love and express, what is that? And express and discover. Okay. So because that's got big letters, I thought that might be good for this. Do I have to shake this? Doesn't really say to shake it. Let's see if it'll spray right. Well, doing something like this is a huge waste of this medium, I'll tell you that much. Okay, so I wonder if I can use this to push that medium into there. I have no idea what I'm doing. Just crafting, just playing. Okay. And we're going to pull this up. I don't know what that did. See if we can get some of this off. You know what? I'm just going to lay this down and I'm going to wipe this, and I don't know if any of it's going to get on the page or not. But we're being a mad scientist. See some medium on there. I have this color shirt, so as long as it stays on any paint goes on the blue, I think I'll be okay. But if it goes on the beige part, I'm in trouble. Ooh. I wonder if this would work. I wonder if a Lysol wipe would help bring up something like this. And it does not. Okay. Nope. Lysol wipes are not helpful in the craft room. Nope. But I will tell you, oh, I don't have it out right now. Hand sanitizer is great to bring up this stuff. Okay, so I was going to drive this. Some of the paper came up here. That's okay. That does not stress me out. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an ink pad. And I need a contrasting color. I'm leaning towards this peacock feathers. Yes, I think that would work. Oh, that sounds like fun, honey. Thanks, Carrie. Hey, Carrie, did you notice I tried to get your goat yesterday in that chat? In regards to the conversation about soda, which is not soda, soda is pop. I think you had signed off before I got a chance to say it. But it was a fun chat, Tony, because Susan was doing live at 5, and so far I don't see this. The resist might still be wet. Okay, you just didn't let me bait you, is all. Darn. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm not real good at this. So, but anyways, Tony, I was saying that Susan was talking about a YouTube video where they talked about people who like to police junk journaling and saying basically that it's only junk journaling if you're using junk. So if you use digitals or, I don't know, maybe store-bought stuff and that sort of thing, that's not junk journaling. And so then Susan's, let's see, so then Carrie or somebody started talking about soda, and Susan said in Texas they call everything Coke, and I was basically like, you're all wrong, it's pop. And you know, just to kind of keep that little idea of we all have this strong opinion and we think we're right. Nobody else is right and you all are wrong. So any of you people who don't call your carbonated drinks pop are wrong. Hi Passion Stack, and what is your name? And if you just popped in when I was saying something somewhat aggressively, I was just talking about kind of like a joking thing we were doing in another chat. It's not serious. And then, so then there was another thing that I was trying to start a pretend argument about, and I can't remember what it was. So it's just, the point is, it's so easy for us to get our hackles up, hi Jessica, about things, and it's completely silly. Okay, so that didn't really work. I see some shiny here. So this shiny, you should be able to rub over it. It'll do its thing, but I'm not really doing it right. So pretend I didn't even do that last like 10 minutes of stuff, because it was a fail. So I wanted to try, where do I want to try it at? I want to try a stencil on here with acrylic paint. I'm sorry, acrylic ink. Which one do I want? These are the only colors I have. I don't want blue, I don't want black. I think I want white. Yep, I think I want white. So I've got to find a stencil. Oh, this would be an excellent prize for when I get up to 600 subscribers. Because I might be able to fold that down. Can I fit that in a number 10 envelope and be able to mail that off relatively cheaply? This is going to be my prize for when I get 600 subscribers. So I will do a 600 subscriber video when it happens, if it happens, and this will be the prize. And I will probably do like maybe 2 days worth of videos about the topic. And then, because I have a second one. Where is it? Well, phooey. I have a second one. There's two here. Nope. Okay, it'd definitely be the stamp set. I might not have the stencil, but it'll definitely be the stamp set because I know I have these stamps in red rubber. I'm pretty sure I have another one of these, though. I gotta look and find it. Okay, I rabbit trailed. What am I going to do here? Let's do this. And we're going to do white acrylic. So like on the second to last day that before Joanne was closing, they had a ton of those. I should have bought more because they were like $1.50 or something. And I bought two. I should have bought a lot. I regret that poor decision making now. See if I can get my hand to hold still enough to do this. Okay. It is very subtle. Very, very subtle. But there's something there. Okay, so almost every page has been stenciled. Even though you can't see it on that one. So I think I'll do it a bit more prominently on this one. Okay, I'm getting all the stuff out for this one. We're going to heat emboss for this one. Coming out. Let's do this. This will take longer, but starting to feel something now. Okay, let's give that a go. we have. And this is all I have of these too. Just what will fit in this box. Candied apple. Pickled raspberry. Ugh, that sounds gross. Twisted citron. Nope. I'm not a purple fan. The other two are stuck. Wild honey, maybe. Salty ocean. Ooh. I think I'm going to use both of those. So my daughter bought a new motorcycle yesterday. I think I'm going to start with this one. She got a 2005 Dyna Harley Davidson. So we were at Denny's having dinner at midnight after all the excitement of the day. Had some drama go on with some bad guy that she has in her life, an ex-boyfriend. So that's why we were up that late. She's probably up that late more often than I am. And if I'm up that late, I am not out and about. Purple has its place, even for me, but it's not my go-to. Where am I at? Oh, right here. Hate when I do that. I know better than to do that. But I have been making that mistake since 2005 when I started being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I think. Okay, let me rescue some of this powder. So the whole point that I'm trying to make with this Craft With Me video is that it's a lot of fun to layer your mediums and to not worry about what supplies you might have. Having multiple colors to play with is what makes it a lot of fun, and like, I guess, multiple tools. So we saw what a brush like this might do. We saw what a brush like this does, and what a brayer does, the word that I couldn't remember about an hour ago. And then just different techniques, trying out different techniques, homemade techniques, things that just pop into your head like a mad scientist. Now, the final step is, first of all, we have to put our stuff away. This all needs clean, so I can't put that away. So we're going to start with stamping on the masking tape. Try not to spill my water. Now, which stamp set do we want to use? Yesterday, I showed my organizational system for my photopolymer stamps, and just to repeat that, I have bins, and this bin has my foam stamps, and then it has this. Let's see. Oh, I forget how to do this. And then the foam stamps. It all sits in here and it goes on my trolley. This bin has my Stampin' Up! And my Tim Holtz stamps. So what do I want to use? I think I'm just going to go, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to use this. And this. You guys aren't talking amongst yourselves. I think we need to get a debate going so we can get some liveliness going. It didn't get very clean last time. Oh man, I can't wait to see that, Carrie. Yes, thank you. I did ask people to craft along with me, so carry on. Go forth and conquer with crafting. Big image. And I'm going to pop that right there. Okay, we'll see if you come back, Carrie. That didn't stamp very good. Okay. If at first you don't succeed, try again. Not doing what I want it to do. So next this does. Yeah. Because it's on paint. That's better. Let's try to see it. Whoa. That came out fast. What should I do with this? Can't waste it. Try this again. That's better. Trish. Welcome. Carrie had a phone call, so she may or may not make it back. And I am just having a mad scientist play at things. So let's give this a little cleanup. We know Teresa's going crazy when her hands look like this. My husband went shopping earlier too. He's got some watermelon hanging out in there for me when I get done. Okay. Hate when cords are hanging over my video. It just bugs my OCD. Okay, so this is intended to be a folio. Yes, it does, Trish. And it's folded like an accordion, and it would get sewn in as a signature in the journal. So what would that look like? These are all single pages, I think. That's okay. We could still get an idea of what it would look like. So we would have pages here, and then there might be pages here. Like these are, say they're not cut. Okay. So then, anyway, the pages would turn, and there would be that, and it would go like that, but it could also flip out like that. And then there would be a page in here, and like that. And then this would flip out like that. So it's still in its raw existence, but I think something like this would have a lot of potential with, you know, I wouldn't put a pocket there because I'd cover up my flower, but it could have a pocket, it could have a belly band, have a tab over here. You can have a huge focal point on here, but the point is using all different kind of media, just experimenting and letting whatever your mind wants to take you to. You could bend these different ways. You could turn these into a pocket, but then you'd lose all your gorgeousness there. Do it up tuck, like that, all kinds of stuff. You could wrinkle it up and give it wrinkled texture like that. And then you could wrinkle it some more. Hello, come here. Dauber and hit those wrinkles. This is gonna look cool. There. That makes it easier. Ooh, when I rubbed it, then the dots showed up. I like that a lot. I'm not going to do it up there because there's actually something stamped up there. We'll just do a little down here. There. That is, I resisted scorched timber for a long time, and then I saw a video and it talked about how the uniqueness of this color can look brown, it can look green black, it has a life of its own. This particular stamp pad has a life of its own. Okay, that's enough. Don't have to get carried away. Okay, now, actually, I want to do this. Trish. The color's awesome, yes. the edges. Thank you. With all this acrylic on it, it has a lot of stability to it, a lot of sturdiness. Sometimes I like to add some of my matte photo paper to my journals, and then enters. It's a fifth wheel, so it's a 40-foot toy hauler fifth wheel. So we took the beds out of the toy hauler, the garage, and so we only have one bedroom. That's at the top, and we took the beds out of the garage area, so the garage area is totally open except for my stuff that I have in it. But then this table that I sit at, so all my computer stuff gets put away when we're traveling, and this table gets folded up, and my 3 carts get moved towards the passenger side of the trailer, and then my husband's motorcycle comes in here for traveling. Do you live in your fifth wheel, Trish? Love that you travel all the time. We have a house still, but when my husband retires, are you now? Yes, I do live in, we've lived in this trailer for 3 years. Well, we've lived in a trailer for 3 years. So we've had this trailer for, I'm trying to remember. The other one wasn't a fifth wheel. And we've had this fifth wheel for, I think we're going on 2 years. And in the summertime, we're in Idaho, the Treasure Valley area. And in the winter time, we're somewhere that is warmer, like Arizona, typically. But we did spend a few months in Texas. And actually last year we went cross country for a while. We spent all of October traveling. And I do work full time. So I just work from wherever I'm at. So like when we were, I was trying to get that to bend, but it doesn't want to bend. When we were traveling cross country, if I knew I had work to do, then I would, we would get up early, travel for a while, and then find a place to stay at about 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and then I get about 4 hours worth of work in. It can be. It's a lot of work to get things. It doesn't matter. The first time we had a brand spanking new trailer, and this one was used. So I'm not really sure which trailer we had the most problems with. Like for instance, the first trailer we did stay in Idaho for the winter, and that's when we realized that we don't want to ever do that again. Eventually, maybe in a couple years, we will stay in Idaho full time, and we'll just get some good skirting and some good insulation. But we didn't have that for the first trailer. So the first trailer, even though it was brand new, the heat system wasn't set up well, and it kept tripping a breaker. And so we had to get some ducting and stuff done so that it would not blow a fuse all the time. And I can't remember. There was other things. But yeah, then like this one, the air conditioning didn't work in the garage at first. And oh, the first one, the brand new one, there was problems with the slide that had to get fixed. But it was a 2020 trailer, and so that was part of the problem. Okay, well, I mean, it's still in its raw form, but it has potential. Yep. We bought that shiny stuff, that metal shiny looking stuff, I can't remember what it's called, and put that in all the windows, taped it into all the windows, and we didn't have any skirting, but he bought some more shiny stuff that was thicker, like foam. Yes, correct. But I do love the fifth wheel because it's got a lot more windows, and that's what I hated about spending the winter in Idaho, was we had all the windows covered up, and then you get depressed because there's no sunshine coming in. But I love all the windows in this. It's still not enough for when we were in Texas and there was all those tornadoes. I wanted it to be complete windows so I could see everywhere around me. So if something started coming, I'd know to go run to the bathroom that was all concrete. The bathroom facility there at the trailer park. So anyways, I'm getting distracted. I think this is done. Oh yes, I was gonna sew. Okay, let's sew. Yeah, and then we had the reflective stuff that was foam that he put all around the outside of the trailer. So, and I wore long johns all the time. My biggest fear is not being able to know if a tornado is coming. I'm from Ohio, so I've been around tornadoes, but when I was in Texas, I didn't know any of the names of the counties, and so I had to keep looking up a map and figuring out where I was in relation to the tornadoes. And then in a trailer, there's really no place to go for a secure area. That's right. This is going to tear if I'm not careful. Your mom sounds like a fun lady. I think I would do that. I was driving around in a tornado one time in Ohio. The kids were with a girlfriend in her cellar. And for some reason, I don't remember why, I decided I had to get in the car and go to the house to get something. Okay, what does that look like? I like it. It looks cool. Yeah, so I'm going to do that for each one of those. And I'm going on I'm going on 2 hours now, so I will go ahead and wrap this video up. And thank you guys for hanging out with me and chatting, and your kind words. And I hope you are all doing well. You don't have any inclement weather going on in your area, no tornadoes, and no flooding. Oh my gosh. So last year it was tornadoes in Texas. This year it was flooding. But I'm going to go back to Texas in 2026, I think. So we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Anyways, take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, visiting with you in the next video.